So now I'm going to do an acrylic image transfer. This is a white canvas board. It's 9 by 12, and I'm going to put some colors down in the background first, and then I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to do the transfer on top of it. So I have the image that I'm going to use as a woman sitting. It's a photocopy, but I'm just going to put some, she's kind of, I'm imagining she's on a hill, so I'm just going to put some green on the bottom and maybe some blue on the top, but I'm not trying to make it look like anything. I'm just painting a layer of acrylic. I'm getting some green and some white. I'm trying to keep the colors for the most part light because the image is dark, or it has darks that I want to show up on here. I'm keeping the paint mostly flat. I mean, you can add texture if you want. And I may paint over the transfer when it's done. So I'm just getting a layer of paint on here. It can be realistic or abstract depending on what you want to do. Okay, now I want to go for some blues. And these blues are, when they get really low, I cut them open and then I tape them. So I'm getting some blue out of the tube. There's not that much left in here. And I'm going to blend it with white. See what I can get out of this. But again, I'm keeping it kind of light. This is an old tube of paint. I want the texture or the brush strokes because I want to make it interesting. I'm just trying to make a background that I think looks interesting. And I'm going to get some darker blue. See if there's any left in here. These are close to the, yeah, there is. Okay. This is ultramarine, and the bottom was more like a cyan. So the top one is more towards violet, and the bottom one is more towards turquoise. Sorry, I kind of forgot what I was saying when I was painting. I know she's going to be down here, so I'm kind of going dark on the edges. And we'll just see where this goes. This is my first time doing this. I mean, I've tried it before, but it didn't work, so I'm trying to, hopefully it works this time. But I want to make this interesting because there's not, the most of this is going to be about the image transfer. So I want to kind of get a background where it'll look interesting, right? And again, I may go over the image transfer. Sorry, you can't really see the top. Have a big brush to get this down. Get a little more white in there. Whoops, that was too much. And again, you can paint afterwards, but I just want to get something I like down first. And I have some reds and pinks. I'm going to try to see what happens if I put some pink in there. Just to be fun. Sorry, you can't see the whole thing. You've got to work fast because it dries really fast. Whoops, got some dark blue in there that I didn't mean to. And I get some light. I'm putting too much paint on here. It's okay to put too much. I just want it to be flat. It's okay if you have texture as well. I just think that flat would hold the image better. I got the blue out of there. Hold on. Let me go back to my turquoise and see what I can get. I like it, but I kind of erased all the turquoise, so I'm trying to put some of it back in. And let me get a little more pink over here just to make it interesting. This color is a fluorescent pink, which I really like because usually there's not fluorescent colors, or they're hard to find, but sometimes it's hard to get it to stay. Just trying to blend it in, and I'm going to do something with the green. Okay, now I'm looking at the green on the bottom. I need a darker green. I like that light green, but it needs something darker. I'm rubbing my brush on a paper towel. And I'm going to go on the edge again with the darker green. This light green kind of dried up. So I'm going to have to make a light green again and blend that in. And the person is going to be here, so I want to make sure it's not too light or too dark. It's okay if it's messy. Sometimes messy adds to the painting. I just want to go a little dark on the edges again because it kind of got erased. And that's what happens when you're working with a big brush. This is kind of an olive, and then the light one is really different. It's more of like a mint. I'm not like making it exactly perfect for the picture. I'm just improvising. And I want a little light up here. There's some green in there. I have a little bit more dark, so I'm going to go back right on this edge. And let me see. It's kind of messy, but I mean, if there's things you don't like, you can fix them later. I messed up that because something got on it. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. Actually, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm trying to blend this in. That's bothering me. You know what? One more brush out. Let me see if I can get some more dark blue. I'm really running out. Now I need to get a little bit of light again. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna leave that, or should I? Hold on. I'm being a perfectionist. Okay, so now I need to wait for this. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna leave it alone to fully dry, and then I can come back to it later. So this is a pizza box, but I am going to put the gel medium in here. Quite a bit. It just there's oil on it, and I don't like to throw away cardboard, so this little dry piece I'm going to use for the gel, and then I'll throw it away. Okay, so I'm going to find my image. And it is right here. So I have a black and white photocopy. I've never done it in color. You could probably also do it in color. So it's going to be opposite from the way that it is, right? So she's going to be facing the other way. So I was thinking she'll be right here facing this way. And I'll probably put her like maybe right. Let's see how close she is. No, I'll put it right to the edge. So basically I'm just going to put gel on this whole area. I should probably actually cut it. But I don't have scissors, so I'm just going to try to match it to the corners. I'm actually not going to worry about it too much. So I'm going to put a lot of gel on. I mean, not huge amounts, but I'm not going to be sparing with it because I want it to touch the whole paper so it transfers. And I'm doing an image transfer, also called a gel transfer. So this is gel medium. Again, you could have gloss or matte. I'm putting a lot on here. I mean, not too much like I did in the collage one because you could see it later. Like it was kind of sticking up. And I mean, I don't know how this is going to turn out. We'll find out. I need to go fast because it's going to dry fast. I'm using a big brush. Just adding more. I want to make sure she's actually mostly over here. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over. I want her to be in this corner because I was thinking of adding something to the image. We'll see one step at a time. And I'm pushing it down. That's pretty good. So I'm going to get a brayer. You could also use anything and just press it down and just really make sure it gets on there. It's kind of diagonal. Oh my gosh. Well, there's nothing I can do about that. But I'm going to get the corners, so I'm going to get a little bit more. Some of the corners are not quite down. So I just want to get any parts that are not down. I can't really lift it up. It's already stuck down, which is good. There's really not much in the corner, but just to make sure. I'm just going to do it one more time to make it sure it gets in the gel and it sticks to the canvas. I'm just really trying to get it on there. Or you could also just rub it with anything hard, a book, a spoon. Okay. Now I'm putting my brush in the water and I'm going to stop here. I'm going to let it sit overnight. At least an hour, but I'm just going to let it sit overnight. Okay, so now I let this dry overnight. And now I'm going to add little bits of water to it. I have some water in this. And then I'm going to kind of rub it off. I'm trying not to add too much. And then I'm going to get a washcloth or a painting rag. And I'm going to start rubbing. I don't want to press too hard, so I'm trying to do it gently. Yep, I can see it got on there. This is going to be a little bit time consuming. See, I rubbed a little too hard there, so I want to leave it on there, so I don't want to so you're going to have to take your time with this. I don't want to press too hard. It's a little bit messy. I don't want paper to be on the canvas. I mean, it's up if you want paper on the canvas, that's up to you. It's kind of a little bit messy. So I know this part is white, so I'm not really, I mean, the paper is white, so I'm not really worried if I'm pressing hard. I probably should have cut the paper so I didn't have to get out all this extra white part. I'm pressing hard here because I know it's white, but where the image is, I'm going to be much more careful. Oops, I can see some of the image, so I pressed too hard there. Hold on. I need to be really cautious when I'm doing this delicate. I'm not like drowning it in water, but I am getting it wet enough so it can rub off. If it's too much, I'm just going to tap it. Whoops, I think I went too hard there. I need to be kind of careful here because I rubbed off, I think, some of the print there. There I'm going hard because I want that white edge off. Okay, I'm just going to get some of this off. Now here, this is the image, so I want to be really careful. Okay, I'm seeing some of the image here. I'm excited, but I don't want to, like, I want to take my time. I'm excited, so I'm trying to do it fast, but I want to take my time so it comes out right. And yes, I am seeing the transfer there, so that's exciting. Okay. Oops, I think I pressed a little too hard there. Get this and move this over. So the ink seeped into the gel. The gel is on the canvas with the ink, but I don't want to be, the gel is water soluble. I mean, it's dry, but I don't want to get too much of it off the gel medium. I'm using a circular motion. But any motion is fine. I just don't want to like get my nail in there or be too rough with it. And yes, it is showing, so I'm excited about this. I tried it once before and it didn't really work. I think I was being too rough with it. Look, there's a part where it didn't get on. Oh my gosh, or there wasn't enough gel. So maybe that's going to have a block in the image. So as you could see, you could do quite a bit of stuff with this. You could do image transfer over image transfer. But it has a nice, like, kind of old look, like it was printed on. Wow, it looks so good. I'm excited about this. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the right. If some areas are not there, that's okay. I mean, that's part of what will make it interesting, but you can't really control it. I mean, you can control it by being really gentle. Like it looks like I took too much off there. Hold on. You can also do it just with your finger, if you don't mind. Like there, the gel didn't get on the paper. Or I didn't have enough gel. So that's a lesson to me that next time I'm going to apply more. And right here is a part where it didn't get on the paper. Oh my gosh. We'll just see what happens and you just work with your mistakes. It's learning the process. Yeah, right there wasn't enough gel. And I think that's what the empty spots are. Rather than me rubbing off too much. I had an idea of her holding a bottle or a butterfly net with butterflies coming out, but I mean, we'll see how this looks first before I add anything to it or use the idea. I'm going to turn it over and kind of get this stuff off. So yeah, this part is where, these parts are where there wasn't enough gel attached to it. Don't worry about water being on the acrylic. It'll just, the acrylic dries, it's really permanent. See if I press hard. No, so it's not really how hard you're pressing. It's you're making sure that you had enough gel underneath. And I think in some areas I was too, it didn't have enough. So be really like add a lot of gel to it. Don't worry about that. It still has white on it, which I want to get off. I don't want that. I mean, you can leave the white on if you like it, but I don't want it to be on there too much. Whoops, now there I was pressing too hard. So you have to be really careful with this. I'm going to use my finger for right now. So next time I'm going to try using a lot more gel. And some of it came off. So it's kind of like a ghost image. And some of the area I pressed too hard, and some of it the gel was not showing through. But you can work with that. I mean, I'm going to work with this. It's not perfect. And then next time I'll learn from my mistakes. But I want to get this white off. I'm not liking this paper like. That's gross right there. Because there's some places where the ink didn't really seep in as much. But since the gel is dry, it shouldn't, like there's some places you can see I scratched with my nail. So you just need to be careful. But most of it got on here. I can see the image for the most part, and I'm going to work with that. Just, there's like a really thin white film of paper that I don't really want on here. That's just lighter paint, but see right here, there's some paper. It's not going to be perfect. I'm just going to wipe it off for a second. And there's still paper on there, so I got most of it on there, and I'll work with what I got here. But my lesson was I should have applied much more gel. And I'm using my finger now because it seems to be able to get some of the small stuff. But see, it just wiped off some of the ink right there. So take your time with this. Some of the ink is still attached to the paper, I guess. So again, it's going to have an old antique look, which is really nice, but it might not be perfect. I'm going to enhance it with paint after, but I'm going to let it sit for a while after I finish this. And for the most part, I mean, it's missing some area right here, possibly, and here, because I didn't have enough gel. And same here. So I mean, next time I really need to add more. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. What is right here? I'm just looking closer, and I'm trying to get any little pieces off. There seems to be paper right here that I want to get off because it's dulling the paint underneath, but I may not be able to. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for a while, but I'm pretty happy with it. It needs a little help right here, but I'm gonna work with it. I'm just gonna work with it when I create my painting, but I'm gonna let it dry for a while and just let it sit. cleaned it again, but just to, it could use another round of letting it sit with water because I'm still seeing some white residue here. But I cleaned it again. It was